Hey, what's up guys? This is Pigeon here, and I'm here with the deck profile on the Gengar and Mimikyu deck. Now, I have promised in the other video in the Pikachu Zekrom profile that I would be doing a deck profile on this, and I'm sorry this got later than it should have. I had to deal with work and other issues, but yeah, I should be getting back on track. Sorry it's been about a few days, but we should be doing regular posts now. Don't mind that noise, that's the cat trying to get outside. But, yeah, so this is a Gengar Mimikyu deck, and I will be using this exact same build for, the battle video we'll be doing against Pikarom, the 2 out of 3. So, we'll be doing a video on that, and this will be the build I'll be using, and I already know a few changes I would make to this, which I'll further explain in the video. So, without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So, first off, we are playing the main ace monster in the deck. Well, not monster, Pokemon. The Gengar Mimikyu GX. If you don't know what this card does, strap on your seatbelts, boys and girls. This thing is a monster. So, it's got a base of 240, Psychic, and it's got an attack Poltergeist for 2 Psychics 50 times. Your opponent reveals their hand. This attack does 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. Note the keyword being trainer. Sorry. There are 3 different... so sorry. There are 3 different types of trainer cards. You know, there's items, stadiums, and supporters. And this does 50 damage for each trainer card in their hand. So it's very, very powerful. It punishes your opponent so they will not draw as many cards. And they have to try to deplete their hand. Then it has this Horror House GX for Psychic Plus. Your opponent can't play any cards from their hand during the next turn. So that's nice, so they cannot play anything. It stops them, and you can play other cards and say, I'm going to look at your hand and see how many cards you have. Then I can use Poltergeist to potentially get a knockout. And if this card has at least an extra Psychic Energy attached to it in addition to the cost, each player draws cards until they have 7. So that's even better, because if they have a low hand size, you can make them go up to 7, and then we can see what they have in their hand and maybe get them for a lot of damage. But we also have other cards in the deck that will allow us to look in their hands and see what they have. But yeah, this is the main Pokemon we're using to help knock out the big tag teams and other Pokemon. And this thing is a beast when it comes to playing against any aggro deck. It shuts them down and gets the job done. So we're playing 2 of him. I might want to buff him up to 3, but I think I have to do a few more testing. Bit more testing to do with him, so I might leave him at 2 or maybe 3. Next, we're going to play the lineup of Trubbish Garbodor. This is one with a Trashalanche attack and the Stomp Off effect. So discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and then Trashalanche 20 damage for each item in your opponent's discard pile for 1 Psychic Energy. You all know what this card does. It's a really good card. So we're using it in tandem with other cards, trying to thin out what they have in the deck. Next up, this is also very standard in almost any Psychic deck. We're playing the Inkay Malamar lineup. Obviously, this is meant to get your energies onto your Psychic Pokemon. It's very self-explanatory. Next, we're going to play Ditto Prism Star and Alolan Muck. This is my personal tech choice. So for the Alolan Muck, it has an ability when you play it from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn. You may look at the top 6 cards of your opponent's deck and discard any number of item cards you find there, and your opponent shuffles the others back into the deck. So that's really, really good. Getting rid of all those item cards, putting them in the discard pile. And then that makes your Garbodor live, so it's able to do some damage. So it's a cute little thing I like to put in to combo with the Garbodor in case it needs to attack. Next, we're playing the 1 Giratina. This is a staple in almost every single Psychic deck. Because of the ability of Distortion Door, it is nuts. If it's in your discard pile, you can bring it back and then put a damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench from the discard. It's nuts. Next, we're going to play 1 Marshadow, obviously to disrupt our opponent's hands. which is what control decks like to do. One Sudowoodo. This prevents the opponent from having a full bench, so they can have one less. So this is a pretty cool little tech card to add in against those aggro-heavy decks. And last but not least, we're playing 2 Tapu Lele GXs, obviously to find those supporter cards, and if we need to, we can use that energy drive to actually get some damage in, but hardly ever will we use it. And that's it for the Pokemon lineup. Next, into our trainers. For our items, we are playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 Mysterious Treasure. This is a basic necessity in any Psychic or Dragon deck, because discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Psychic or Dragon. Add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Self-explanatory. Main search. One of the best search cards. Next, we're also playing 3 Nest Ball. This helps get out our basic Pokemon that we need. It can help get out a Gengar Mimikyu. It can help get out the Ditto. If we have that Muck in our hand, helps get out the Trubbish, the Inkay, even the Giratina. Well, more than likely you don't want to grab Giratina, but if need be, you can if you want. But yeah, 3 Nest Ball to help get those basics out. Next, we are playing 3 Peaking Red card. So this is the card I was talking about. That's going to go in tandem with the Gengar Mimikyu GX to help look at our opponent's hand. And if they don't have a not-so-good hand, many items, you can basically make them shuffle and draw that many cards again to ensure we could get some damage off. Next, we're going to have a couple damage modifiers. We have 2 Choice Bands. This is almost in every single deck to try to knock out those Pokemon. We are also playing 2 Max Potion because it does not take that many energies to fuel the Gengar Mimikyu or any other Pokemon. And plus, we also have the Malamar engine in our deck, so we can just get those energies right back onto those Pokemon whenever need. So it really doesn't hurt them that much. Next, playing 2 Ultra Ball. This is obviously to get the Evos out a lot faster, to get the Malamars or the Alolan Muck if we ever needed it, or Garbodor in case we don't have access to Treasure, and it helps discard some cards into the discard pile like energies. And then for the last 2 item cards, Field Blower and Rescue Stretcher. I am definitely going to cut this Field Blower because it is not a very good card at the moment. With all those Prism Stadiums running around, it's not that great. And Rescue Stretcher is obviously almost every single deck has a one of because it helps get your Pokemon back. Debating whether or not I should add another Choice Band to the list, cutting the Field Blower to actually get some more damage out there, in my opinion, or just add another Gengar Mimikyu. Next, for the stadiums, we're playing 2 Altar of the Moon. This helps get our Psychic Pokemon get that free retreat whenever we put when it has a Psychic energy on it, and it costs 2 less, and most of them in the deck are 2 or less retreat. So it's pretty nice to have. And then we're also playing 1 copy of Lavender Town to help look at our opponent's hand. And now for the supporters, we are playing 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get rid of those bad hands. Make sure we get a nice new hand and be able to actually do something against the opponent. Also, we're going to play 2 Acerola so we can bounce back a card like Gengar Mimikyu or any other card that's about to die and just put it back in our hand and play it again. Self-explanatory. Next, we're playing 2 Guzma, obviously. Big switcheroo, swing the game. 2 copies of Lily. Really good if you're going first, if it's your first turn, and obviously get that up to 8 cards. But it's still good to get up to 6 as well. And then for the last 2 supports, we're playing Sightseer. Discard as many cards as you want from your hand, and then draw up to 5. So it's pretty good, dumping any unnecessary cards we don't need in our hand to thin it out, and then get some new cards to replenish it. And then we are going to play 10 Psychic Energies, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 Psychic Energies, just to round that off. You don't need that many in this deck, because the Pokemon in it do not require that many. But yeah, guys, that is the deck profile of the Gengar Mimikyu. It is going to be featured in our battle video, best 2 out of 3, and we'll see who will be the real victor here. In my opinion, it might be Gengar Mimikyu, but if I brick very hard, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. But yeah, guys, check out our other previous videos. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment down below if you want to discuss anything about the deck. I know I had someone, we discussed the Pikachu Zekrom deck, different variants, and I like discussing with you guys about that kind of stuff and see what you guys are brewing and could potentially change up what's in the meta. But yeah, guys, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.